Yeah, and I think it's worth saying, as you reminded you as well, is obviously in 2022, I had a whole team of 17 self-employed advisors. That's why you guys said about going the self-employed route. But then after I was out of the business for 8 months, watching my mum pass away and stuff, when I came back, I realised fees dropped, conversions dropped, leads weren't being managed and looked after well enough. So it was an immediate thing for me was like, that was November, Zoe joined in the April, Jamie joined in the October. So that was 6 months transition wholly out of self-employed into employed. And you have more control, it's more profit, they're more embedded into your model, and they're equally more with you rather than up and down the country. So from your side then, next 12 months we've covered, but importantly with some of the active CRM stuff, you said using the AI replies to reviews, using the social planner within the system, and starting to use out some of the automations that are in there to do it. And obviously today we're building that out quite a lot. Yeah, what's next for Port Anchor?
So for Port Anchor, I think we're trying to build out the introducer relationships now, just embed them more. So that is tending to be investment, or IFAs, solicitors, accountants, that type of one. They know a lot of high net worth and people who need specialist lending. Try and build out our business or commercial side. So actually offering business loans was a new product this year, and also doing a lot more commercial. So having done our biggest £2.4 million commercial deal for a care home this year, that was big. That's going through legals at the moment. Trying to build out in the BNI network. So Dave, our advisor, is now joined a chapter, and I'm looking to move into another chapter under Port Anchor, and we're going to have essentially 3 of us in that business network now, so more people marketing, which will be great. And then from a group perspective, financially, our next target is 500k turnover. We want to try and drive towards that, which run rate looks like that's a good way forward. And then once we've got the system set up, we want to then take on another mortgage advisor and start building out. So we got the protection pod, which has got 2 people, and we got a mortgage pod, which has got 3. So we want to start building that mortgage pod a little bit more now.
When are you going to start bringing on ARs?
So we're already in conversation. So we're in conversations with 2 potentially at the moment. One's
so they'll
got
be
a
joining
team
in 2026.
Exactly. Yeah. One's got a team of 4 or 5. One's got a team of 2 at the moment, and then a plan to kind of build it out. So once we've refined the systems and hopefully launch some point early next year.
Yeah, that's for I think our conversation on the back of that was, we went DA. The idea was to do ARs, but as we have grown and taken on more people, it's like, okay, how do we refine our process so that, as Karl said earlier, we can just go, right, this is our process, this clearly works, this is what you need to do as an AR, and this is how we can help you grow. So if we can refine our process as best as we possibly can and utilize active CRM, for example, those things are going to allow us to help those people. So then when we do take on ARs, it's not as stressful of just going, well, what do we do in this situation? What do we do in this situation?
And just become another network that just does compliance.
Exactly. We don't want to do that. We want, the world is social media.
Yeah.
The world is social media. So it's like, we want to help people grow in that situation. So when we are talking to those ARs, we can say, look, this is how we've learned. These are the people we need to speak to. And then you would get involved and help grow those ARs via us, and that's how we would want to do it.
It's essentially a trickle-down effect. The fact that you're our mentor and we will be their business consultant, at the end of the day, we'll be able to take all the bits that have worked for us and optimized in our business to show them how to do it. And we'll lead by example and go, look, this is the results that we created. But like you say, some people want everything now, especially the generation that we're in. We have used, as you explained, we do quite a lot of long game stuff. So how do we do those little bits over time that builds it up sustainably? And you'll see from our revenue and our profit, it is a gradual growth. It's not going to be a super incline. But that's not why we're here. We're supposed to build it sustainably to make sure that, one, we've got a business because you don't want to run out of cash, but also that we are looking after our people internally and externally because we're very community focused.
I think that's one thing that when joining you, that I've noticed about the amount of businesses that do join, and they just expect essentially pay for this and I'm now going to be a £1 million turnover business. And it's like, that's not how it works. You still need to put a hard work and dedication into it. And that's when you collaborate with the other people that are in the room as well, because you have the like-minded people. I think it's funny because you being in the industry, you always think, you've got to be against each other. Oh, that person does what I do as a niche, or that person is in the same area as me, and it's almost like you need to battle that person. But actually, that's not the case at all. And it's the more I've learned about just being in the room with people, the more successful those companies are, the more free advice they're going to give you. And that's when we was at the first battle plan, there was one-man bands in there, and we're just like, how do I can see your drive and determination. How do I help you? What do I need to do to help you? And we're all just helping each other, and it's just so refreshing. I was talking to a personal trainer, and they were saying there is no chance that you'd get other personal trainers in the room because they all just think they're fighting for the same business. And it's like, it's so refreshing when you go to these events, you think, actually, this person's doing £1 million turnover and I've just started, but we're all there to help each other. And that's one thing I just really enjoy about it.
Yeah. And I think the one thing that you've seen over the years is the ones that have been most successful have been with you the longest. Yeah. So yes, there's people who have gone away and done their own things, but I think sustainably, the ones that have done the best successfully have been here 3 or 4 years, and they're not here to get rich quick. Yeah. I've heard some people in the room say, "Oh, I haven't done anything. I haven't got anything," and it's 3 months. Well, when we set up the business, we didn't pay ourselves for 4 months. So how can you expect to get a return from anything straight away? You've got to essentially set up and optimize and then give it at least 12 months to see the difference. Like our turnover genuinely jumped up by 100 grand the first year being with you. And now our second year has again jumped up another 100 grand. So when you look at actually the return on investment, straight away you can see that it's actually generated that. But as we optimize the business, it's then a focus on profit. So yes, you want to drive turnover, but turnover doesn't always equal money in your pocket. So that is about kind of moving forward next couple of years is about optimizing and scaling in the right way that's going to be profitable for everyone.
I think there's the reason we joined is obviously because of the self-employed model we wanted to go down. We were like, well, we could utilize you, but as obviously we've all changed in the employed route, we've all learned from each other of, I've heard about this system and I did this system. And then somebody goes, oh, I used that system last year. Don't bother doing it. Oh, cool. You've just saved me a year of hassle. Like we was talking about CRMs, and through that journey of when we joined you, we went through different CRMs and now we're on the same CRM, and it's all because of a collaborative approach of, how have you found this and how have you found that? And it's just that for me, you are saving the time and effort of that person wasting time.
Yeah.
Like they don't need to waste time.
It's much cheaper and more efficient to vicariously learn through other people's mistakes than it is trying to constantly figure out everything on your own.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And like you said, Tom Williams, Health Hub, if you're not using Health Hub, watching this or listening to this, it's great for protection applications. Some people were using it, some people weren't. Pretty much all of us have implemented now, but the game changer that we all got recently was Tom Williams said, just make it part of your waiting documents phase. Yeah. We've shifted that in our business now and done that, and it's like, now we can give earlier protection recommendations with less resistance because we've got it when we got the bank statements and everything. So, it's like you say, collaborative approach.
That massively helped us from our protection side of things because we had a medical questionnaire that I designed.
Over 1,000 people completed mine.
And but it wasn't
intuitive.
Dynamic is the word. Yeah, it wasn't dynamic. So when people were clicking the button, it wasn't then asking them further questions, whereas Health Hub now does. Yeah. Because what was happening was our protection advisor, Lindsay, was going, I need to answer all these questions. And there was a bit of resistance from those clients because they were like, I don't really want to answer those questions on this WhatsApp chat or on the phone or on the email. So it's like there was a bit of resistance. Changed to Health Hub. It is that fluid document, and it just allowed us to just reduce the amount of work that the protection advisor now has to do and reduces the chasing, which is, again, it's a great thing, but we didn't know about this until we were in that room.
Yeah, love that. So let's bring this to a little bit of a close then now, because it's been awesome hearing about the journey, and obviously you've pretty much 4x'd the business realistically over 4 years. Is that fair to say? And obviously that's in terms of your turnover, but in terms of your written business, it's 10x in 4 years. And that's an important thing. You'll hear me bang on about it all the time. Track your written, because that's the one you can control. Bank you can't, whether you're doing a regulated or a bridge, they pay in different sizes. So focus on the inputs and the outputs take care of themselves.